What's up and welcome back. In this episode, we're going to talk about monetizing our Bookmarks app that we have built with the Twitter API. And today we're going to use the PageM because we're building with Ruby on Rails. The PageM, if you haven't seen it already, is this tool by Chris Oliver. It's an open source library that you can use with your Rails applications, and it has a ton of features built in. But the thing that I love the most is that the models are already built for you, so it's already kind of figured out all the different database structures that you'll need for subscriptions, and it also has tooling for handling webhooks automatically for you, just out of the box. This is a really, really powerful tool. So the first thing we need to do is say bundle add pay and bundle add Stripe. We're going to use Stripe as our payment processor. Pay is the Rails engine that wraps Stripe. All right, the next thing we want to do is we're going to say Rails pay install migrations, and that's going to install the migrations from pay. If we take a look at this Ruby file, you'll notice that there's let's see. There are a bunch of tables that are created for you for customers, merchants, payment methods, subscriptions, and more. So that's all coming for you out of the box. We're going to say bin Rails DB migrate. Okay, now that all of those tables are created, what we can do is go to our user model here and we say pay customer. By default, that's really all we have to do to get started with pay. But what I want to do is I want to set my default payment processor to Stripe. I also want to set some Stripe attributes, and those Stripe attributes are going to be a handful of things that are passed along when the Stripe customer object is created. So namely, I want to include some metadata here. So metadata is going to have things like my Twitter ID. I'm going to pass along my user ID. That's just the ID in my local database. I also want to pass along my Twitter handle, so nickname, and maybe we'll actually put the symbol on here and call this nickname like this. So that should pass along some attributes to Stripe when a customer is lazily created the first time we actually need a Stripe customer. All right, the other thing I want to do is we're eventually going to want to listen for and handle webhooks. So we're going to use the Stripe CLI for this. So with the Stripe CLI, we can say Stripe listen -- forward to, and then a local URL. That'll form a direct connection between our Stripe account and our local machine. And when events fire on our Stripe account, they'll be delivered to our local machine. So instead of dropping this in here, localhost 3000 /pay /webhook /Stripe, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open my procfile.dev and have this fire up on start of my dev process. So I'm going to say Stripe listen forward to localhost 3000 pay webhooks Stripe. That way I don't have to remember that that's what I need to pass every time. And I'm just going to double check here in the docs under webhooks that is indeed the path. Yeah, pay webhooks Stripe. Okay, great. So now I can restart this. I can restart the server here, and you'll notice that at the bottom it says one of the processes that just started is called Stripe.1. Ready, you're using Stripe API version, blah, blah, blah. This is your webhook signing secret. That's my default API version for my test or my demo Stripe account that we're already logged into. And now we should be receiving webhook events that fire on our account. The next thing we want to do is generate some pricing page or some page that's actually going to let us check out or go through and pay. So let's say Rails G controller pricing or prices controller. How about we call it a checkouts controller, and we'll have a show page and we will have a create action. So let's see how much this created for us. Let's go to our routes, and we're going to use resource singular checkout. If I can spell resource checkout. Go to our checkouts controller here. And before we let anyone pay, we want to make sure that they've actually signed up. So here before action, we want to require user. So they have to be signed up. And then on the show page, we're just going to render some show page. And then maybe on create, what we'll do is we want to actually redirect through Stripe checkout to collect payment. Let's go build out that checkout show page. Okay, so I'm going to use Tailwind UI here. We're going to use this pricing section. It looks like this, simple, no tricks pricing, whatever. We're just going to copy this entire thing. We'll copy all the HTML and then we'll go through and edit it and update it here. So simple, no tricks pricing, the best bookmarks search you've ever seen. All right, lifetime membership. So this is actually going to be a monthly subscription. Stay on top of your bookmarks, something like that. I don't know. We're just writing copy on the fly here. So what's included? So what is included? There's some HTML here with a bunch of checkboxes. So you get things like, I don't know, bookmark categories. You get things like smart folders. What else do you get? Bookmark search. We haven't actually implemented bookmark search, but we will do that eventually, I think. I don't know, maybe not. Okay, and then what else do you get? I don't know. Awesome customer support. That'll be me just answering emails. I think pay once, own it forever. No, I don't think so. I think it's like a monthly. And then we're just going to make it like, I don't know, $2 per month USD. I don't know, maybe more ambitious. Let's say it's $20 per month USD. Learn about our membership policy. We're not going to actually write that copy right now. And then we don't have a free sample for anybody. So let's also remove that hope from anyone's mind. And we'll head back over here and refresh the page. Where did it go? Localhost 3000. All right, so we should already be logged in. So if I go to /pricing, I believe, nope, it's called /checkout. This should be our page that shows us our checkout page. Nice. Simple, no tricks pricing. I don't like this gray background though. So I'm going to find this gray background here, BG Gray 100. Let's see. Okay, this looks so clean. Oh my word, I love Tailwind UI. It's so good. Okay, when we click Get Access, that should be a post request to /checkout that will redirect us through the checkout flow. So let's do that now. So we're going to go down to the bottom of this page where we say Get Access, Get Access. We're going to convert this into a button, and we're going to wrap that inside of a form with the action being checkout. Method is going to be post. We want to include a hidden field with the name authenticity token, and the value is form authenticity token. And let's see, what else do we need here? I think that's it. All right. Oh, it doesn't need this href. Maybe instead of href, we'll say type is submit. So good practice. Oh no, okay, it doesn't fit the same size. Oh no, flex center. Why isn't it? Okay, this is interesting. Okay. So we have like a little dangler here. You see how that the button is sort of like off on the left and it's not, So I wonder if we need to make the form have some of this border transparent text-based rounded MD justify center. All right, so let's just hack on some of these classes for a second. So items center, justify center. Did we move something around? I think, I don't know. Get access /button. Did I spell that right? Okay. Hover, BG gray, text white, rounded. Okay, so which of these things might be impacted by the form? So what is being applied to the form? Box sizing. All right, well, whatever. We can come back to that. But for now, like, this should sort of work. Why isn't it? Maybe it's not. This is actually a form, yeah? Okay, it is. Oh, you know what I need is data turbo false, because I don't want it to use turbo. And then we click on this get access. Is it actually sending a post request? What's going on here? What is going on here? Show me all. We're sending a post request, right? No, it's saying a get. What? Okay, so did I get this wrong? Method is post. Did I not spell that right? Method post. All right. When we refresh the page, we should click on this, and it should be making a post request. to/checkout. How come it is not doing that? Let's clear out our request logs here. Click it again. Okay, 204. So it is making a post. Okay, I was just looking at the wrong one. No content. It's because our checkouts controller, create action, doesn't actually have anything here. So what do we want to do? We want to create a checkout session. This is something that's available inside of Pay. So if we go to Pay and we go to the docs for Stripe checkout, let's see, Stripe and Stripe checkout. Nope. So we should be able to say user payment processor checkout like this. And okay, so we're just going to drop that in here. The mode is subscription. And the price is going to be some price ID from the dashboard. So we're going to go into the Stripe dashboard. We're going to go to products. We're going to create a new product. It's going to be called Bookmark app or something. And this is a SaaS software for personal use. And this is like manage your bookmarks with ease. Gosh, the the copywriting is just flowing off the tongue right now, flowing off the fingertips. Okay, so this is going to be a recurring $20 a month fee, and we are going to call that good. All right, so we're saving our product. This product has now a new price, so we're going to copy that price, and that's what we're going to put here. Now we want to say redirect to @checkout_session.url, and we want to allow other host, and we're going to say that the status here is see other, because we want to redirect to a Stripe hosted surface. So we need this, we need to tell Rails that it's safe to go somewhere else. All right, so now if we click get access, we are almost redirected. Stripe attributes. Wrong number of arguments, one given. Okay, so we go to our user model, and here we actually get in the user, I believe. So undefined method email for user. Oh my word. Okay, so our user model doesn't have an email address. So I'm going to say def email, and I'm just going to return the nickname because, okay, no API key provided. The pagem depends on the user model having an email, but we're logging in with Twitter OAuth and we don't actually have an email. So I'm actually, well, yeah, nickname like this should be fine. And we'll see how far that gets us. The next error we got here is the Stripe API key. So it turns out that Pay is expecting our credentials to be in a format like this. Remember when you first fire up the server, this is the webhook signing secret that's spit out. So that's what you want to use as your signing secret here. You might have several, which is why this supports a list. Okay, so now we can restart the server now that we have our API keys saved, and we can come back over here and go to our checkout page. Now we see this $20, get access. We click on get access. Invalid email address, cjav dev. Okay, I'm gonna make it @example.com just so that it is happy. And this is gonna be, okay. @example.com. Missing host to link to. So if we go, as part of the Pay dependencies, we need to have our application mailer host URL stuff set up. So if we go back into the, I believe it's installation here, you'll notice that we need to have this action mailer thing in development RB. This is pretty standard for Rails. So our host is going to be localhost. And we're going to add port 3000. Okay, because we're changing that, I think we need to restart the server as that is changing like the underlying application. Okay, let's see if it works now. Boom. All right, we're redirected. And now we can see this $20 a month, manage your bookmarks with ease. We can support card, we can support US bank account. The email here is kind of funky. I don't know if we should ask people for their email address or something, but yeah, this is, This is tricky because we don't have their email address. I know that it's sometimes available, but I think I'm not sure if it's available through the default scopes for the Twitter API. So let's use a US bank account here. For this example, we're going to click on Test Institution, and we can say, nope, success, link my account, done, and then we will subscribe for test, subscribe. Okay. Now we are going to be subscribed to the Bookmark app, but if you look at the logs, notice that there's a bunch of webhooks that are being processed now. So these are all coming in and being processed. And so we have that checkout session ID in the response, but now if we try to go to Bookmarks, we, do we have a current user? Yeah, we have a current user. Why doesn't this have _bookmarks unauthorized? Oh, we might need to actually refresh. Okay, we have not done any refreshing. So we might actually need to refresh our token. So we'll say authorize app. And now we're back to Bookmarks. Okay, so if I recall correctly, I think if we go into Rails console and look at user.last, we should have a .payment processor. We should have a customer ID. There we go. So we have a Stripe customer ID, cus_whatever. And if I go to the Stripe dashboard and look for that customer ID, I have a Stripe customer in here. And they, in fact, have the metadata with our Twitter ID, our username, and our nickname for Twitter. That's pretty cool. And we have some payments that are pending here, whatever. What we want to do now is we want to use that ID to add a billing button on all pages where we're logged in. So let's go to application HTML ERB, and we're going to add like a new section at the top here. That's going to be some like a nav section or something. And what we're going to do is we're going to say if we're logged in, then we want to add a button or a link button. Link. Let's add let's make it we'll make it a link to and we'll just call it billing. Manage billing. We'll just call it, billing. And so if we're logged in, so logged in again is not a method for action view. So we have this method in application, actually we don't, application controller. So we could define this method logged in, def logged in, which is going to just say like, do we have a current user? But if we refresh the page, we still don't have this method logged in available to the view. And the way we do that is by using this this class method called helper method logged in. So this will say like, take this method and make it available to the view. So now we have this link here to billing. No route matches / billing, and we know that. So let's say Rails G controller billings, and we're going to go to the billings controller and say that show route for the billings controller is going to bring us to the customer portal. So inside of Pay, there's another thing called the customer portal that's available. We can jump directly to the Stripe customer portal based on our payment processor. So let's see what it's called. Okay, so current user payment processor billing portal. So portal session is equal to this thing. And we can just say, again, redirect to portal session.url. Allow other host, because this is going to be another Stripe hosted surface. And we're going to say status is see other. Okay, so now I should have a route for getting billing, and I should be redirected to the customer portal. Fantastic. So here is our bookmark app. If we want to, we can cancel our plan. Yeah, we want to cancel our subscription, and we should be able to then sort of just like return to the demo. When we return to the demo, we're no longer logged in. So even if we try to go to, Well, if we go to bookmarks now, okay, we're still able to see the bookmarks. So we better go to the bookmarks controller and say that not only do we have to require a user, but we have to require a subscribed user. So we're going to go back to our application controller and add a new method here, require subscribed user. And this is going to say if the current user.payment processor is it, I believe we should be able to check if the subscription is active. So this is going to be subscription and subscriptions active or subscribed or something. Yeah, that's what we want, subscribed. So subscribed is going to like, this will work for trials also, which is nice. If they're not subscribed, we'll redirect them to the pricing page or the checkout page. And that should be good. So because I am not subscribed, if the current user, if they're not subscribed, then redirect them there. Okay, so now I'm redirected back here. So I am logged in. I can still see this billing button. That's a little bit odd. Also, yeah, this like spacing on the right of the button is starting to bug me. So let's go, we'll go fix that after this. I think what we're at though is maybe we want to move this nav over to the right. So I think we can do that with Tailwind. So let's see if they have some examples here. They do have some examples of navs. So I believe if we look at like, where is the sign up button? Sign up, sign in and sign up. And we just say justify end. Can we do that inside of this nav thing? Also, do we need to say that it expands across the whole thing? No. Justify, and I think we're missing some other, yeah, we're missing some other thing, MD Flex maybe. We want it to be using Flexbox so that that justify thing works. Okay, cool. So now we have billing, and let's give this a little bit of, I don't know, just like a little bit of breathing room around the top. Margin top, padding top. Okay. All right, well, we have our pricing. We have this manage billing thing. I guess we also want like a method to like log out. And we don't have that defined yet. So I'm actually just gonna like stub it into our sessions controller and add a method here, logout, that will say session at user ID is equal to nil, redirect to the root. We need to add this as a route, so we're going to say get to logout is going to sessions logout. Okay, so now we have a billing button and a logout button. Logging out actually does kick us out, so now we have to go back through the process. We have to log in. We're going to authorize the app, and we're not able to actually see bookmarks, right? Like we just can't get to it because we're not paying. So that's kind of the goal there. So we've successfully achieved that. Okay, so let's give these some underlines so that we can actually see them. Okay. Things are coming together. This like should work or sort of work. So let's say get access again. Let's go through checkout one more time. This time we'll use a card. So this automatically or like quickly will pay for us. Okay, we can also save our payment for one-click checkout next time. Definitely do that if you ever see one of these pages. It just helps you check out so much faster with one click. All right, we're redirected back. I guess maybe we want to also update the redirect so that we're dropped back into bookmarks because this is the page we really care about. So now we have a full sort of flow where we can sign up, pay, we have a paywall, we have a pricing page, we have this billing portal, and all with just about 25 minutes of playing around with the PayGem. So this again is a Bookmarks application that is monetized using Stripe. We can see again inside of here, we can look at the subscriptions. The one hiccup is that we don't have an email address, which is sort of like a hard requirement for working with both Pay and Stripe checkout. So we'll need to figure out how we collect that email address as we're checking out. I think we could also potentially just ask the user for that when they're first being signed up. Like if we go to create the user after they authenticate and we did not receive an email as part of the OAuth flow, we can ask them for the email at that point. Otherwise, yeah, we have 2 charges that went through successfully here, and things are looking good. So I think that's where we're going to wrap it. Thanks so much for watching, and we will we'll call it good there. I will push this code up. It'll be available on GitHub, and I'll link to it down in the description. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.